Okay.
And we're live.
We're back.
Welcome to the Underdog Journey. I'm Wes. This guy's David. And between the two of us, it is always pizza and beer night, if you couldn't tell.
It is pizza. So you guys got to watch. It was a lovely event for you guys with Wes finishing up his pizza and me trying to wolf down pizza rolls before the show started. But no, I actually, I had that. You know what we keep talking about, that day job just getting in the way.
Right.
I had stuff. I was trying the first half of this week, and when that happens, you got to play catch up on some of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it drug a little longer than what I would normally be. And of course, we're on Thursday night because I was actually traveling, and it's a good thing we didn't try it because I was actually stuck in the air yesterday, and I would have been, FaceTiming everybody from the airplane.
From the airplane. That'd be
they have limited alcoholic beverages on there, so
that's a problem.
Let's just face it, that's an issue. So
that's
what are you drinking tonight? Oh, crud monkeys.
Crud. I'm not drinking crud monkeys.
I closed out of it, and now I don't know who all I've sent this invite to because they all just say send again. So I might be sending many invites out to the same people. Who knows?
Yeah, so that is one of the things we do for the pre-show is during the countdown, we send out a ton of invites to a lot of people. And unfortunately, Facebook doesn't make it very easy, which you think...
No, it used to be...
It's way easier.
Yeah, it used to be so much easier. And thank you. Wait. Thank you very much.
Exactly. You're drinking water. You can't toast to water, David.
Well, that was my
the Zuckerberg. That's your
the Zuckerberg.
Doing the Zuckerberg.
But I don't have a small glass of water because it's good water.
Actually, if Zuckerberg had a big glass stein of water, he would have looked way cooler.
If it had been beer, I might have rooted for him a little harder.
I don't know if they allow beer on the floor of Congress.
They do when I'm there.
Good. They absolutely should. So,
absolutely.
What are you drinking tonight? What do you got?
What do I got tonight? Well, it looks like I got a drinking problem based upon because I picked out 3 beers out here out of my fridge, and
I don't think
and then it's literally as we were getting ready to start, like, ooh, I kind of want an amber or maybe another Oktoberfest, and so it started out with I got an Erdinger Weiss beer, which is a Hefeweizen.
Nice,
and I'm really excited about this beer. So now it's Erdinger, but I've got my Hefeweizen Hofbrauhaus. This is the actual glass you're supposed to drink the Hefeweizen out of. So
nice.
I've got the gold rimmed version of it, which I like that too, because I'm fancy.
It makes it look fancy.
Pinky,
very classy.
Pinky up. Well, I got the plastic one over there. So then I've got a just an unfiltered wheat beer, which basically is another Hefeweizen. It may not have the same characteristics of it. Just a wheat beer doesn't necessarily have the banana and the clove finish that you would check or expect from a Hefeweizen. And then I've got that Dunkel. I had that last week, and just for comparison, that's a regular can in my hand.
You're like Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant. Yeah, I don't know if he talked like that. Oh, wait a minute, I do, because he was in Princess Bride.
Yeah.
So then I got Myers Creek Brewing Company here. I got an Oktoberfest. It's the last day of September.
It still technically counts as Oktoberfest.
I'm going with it. So I've got that Oktoberfest. I've got a Von Trapp Oktoberfest. And I've got the Devil's Backbone, which if you haven't tried this beer, this is actually quite a good beer. So I got 3 Oktoberfest, 2 wheat beers, and a Dunkel.
That's
literally brought my non-Hofbrauhaus beer. So all of these are the types of beers that you'd be able to go to Hofbrauhaus and order, like Oktoberfest, a Hefeweizen, and a Dunkel. So
there you go.
I have a type.
You have, exactly. We all know your type.
I have a type. So what's in the? Well, talk to me about your beer glass, and then tell me about what's in it.
There you go. So actually, on, was it Tuesday or Wednesday? Tuesday was Ohio Pint Day, sponsored by the Ohio Craft Brewers Association. It's hard to see the glass there. Just focus.
There you go. You got it a little bit there. Okay, it zoomed a bit.
Yep. So this is the official pint glass of Ohio Pint Day 2021. They had a local artist make it. It's sponsored. The whole event is sponsored by the Ohio Craft Brewers Association, and $1 from the sale of every one of these pint glasses goes to supporting Ohio craft brewing. So
excellent.
In case they didn't have enough funding from guys like you and I drinking it all, they're getting funding from the glass.
It's $1 from the glass, but $7 from the beer. So
right, exactly, at least.
All good. So I'm rocking my Hofbrauhaus Oktoberfest T-shirt because I said, you know, it's the last day. I'm doing it. I won't wear it again, but I will.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's all right. It's like wearing white after Labor Day, if that's a thing. I think it's
understood. I never understood that. It's
yeah, me neither.
Oh well. Anyway, it's a whole thing.
And then of course, when does the date reset? I mean, it's just.
You have to wait till the year. Like, what's for the rest of the? I don't know.
Is it forever? Is it the first Labor Day, and then after that you're done? I mean, you can't have. I don't get it. But you know what? Then I guess you know what? We're not in fashion. People are not knocking the door down, going, "Hey, Dave, I want to talk to you about fire protection, life safety, mass notification systems."
And fashion.
I want your take on this year's fall line.
Yeah,
no, they're not doing that.
There's a reason why you don't.
Tommy Hilfiger like call me up going, "Hey, Dave." Go ahead there. I missed you. I cut you off.
No, I was gonna say there's a reason why you don't see guys dressed like us on the runway.
Yeah. We're drinking at the bar down the road. That's why.
But in my pint glass, I am having the official Nocterra for those of you in Central Ohio. Nocterra's Noctoberfest, because this is technically Oktoberfest. They're a local favorite here, so pretty tasty beer. Good stuff.
Yeah, it is good. I've had the Nocterra's Noctoberfest. I've never had it out of a can. I've always had it out of the tap. And anybody who knows me knows I much prefer tap beer, keg beer.
Everything's better out of the tap, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
it's the world we live in.
And the bigger glass you can get. I mean, if let's say I got here we go. Let's say I get my Hofbrauhaus Oktoberfest. Right. Now this one is actually four years old now. This Oktoberfest glass, there you go. And then you take, yes, the one on the right or left, depending on which side it is, the one on your right hand, that's a beer. The one on the left, that's from the kids menu.
Yeah, this is when you get used to drinking the actual large steins and you get a pint, it's like, oh, this is it's cute. It's very cute.
Yeah. There it is, right there. You're like, oh, I'll have that. And you're looking for the little pouch to put the straw in.
Yeah. Thanks, Mr. the Giant. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So there were some topics we wanted to get to tonight, but I did want to do this. We haven't got the details worked out yet, but I do want to show it on here.
What are you gonna show us? What do you got? You gotta hold it higher.
That's the Mavic.
You gotta hold it higher.
That's the drone.
Hold it higher. Hold it higher. There you go. Oh, there's the drone. We're giving away.
I forget what I can see on one screen is not what you guys can see on the other screen. So this is the DJI Mavic Mini. It is the drone that we are going to be doing the raffle for. Now, as we spoke before, there's a lot of things you got to do to get a raffle, and we're going to go over it. We're going to go over it step by step. So we'll probably have the details put together to launch this next week. We're not going to launch it until the end of the show.
Yep.
Because during the show, we're going to walk you through some of the steps that you have to take, and there are going to be other ones, depending on where you live, that you're going to have to adhere to.
Yeah, a lot of people realize how many hoops you got to jump through just to have a raffle that's technically illegal.
Yes. There are plenty of people out there that do raffles that are not by the books. We're going to do our best with the little asterisk sign saying, best of luck. Got to call it a waffle. I'm sorry, I am a Big Bang Theory fan, so it's That's a Quickie reference there
There you
from Shannon Black. Shannon Black from the Real Life Outdoors. I believe Shannon Black is actually doing a raffle on his channel.
Ah,
So
shit.
we started
What are
talking
you
about this. We
raffling
started
off?
talking about this last week, and I believe I seen it on his channel that he's doing. What was you saying?
What do you think he's raffling off?
I don't know, Mr. Black. What are you raffling off on? I'm gonna guess a fishing thing. I mean, or a gift card to Starbucks. I don't know.
I think he's copying us. That's what I think. Shit.
Actually, neither one of us knew that the other had this thing planned. And when it goes, but you know what they say, great minds, right?
Well,
Great minds. And Shannon's over there kicking butt on that channel. He's got the whole
great.
new merch line that he's launched.
Yeah.
Redesigned the logo. He has some really good videos put out here recently. So if you haven't checked it out, go check out the Real Life Outdoors with it's a giveaway. It's one of their new hoodies. So he's actually going to be raffling away one of their new hoodies, which definitely
great way.
Yeah, that new logo is the bee's knees.
Yeah.
So that's that. And unfortunately, I'm going to need you to talk for a couple minutes. I know I love to talk because everybody loves to hear my voice. I don't sound like a hillbilly at all. Oh, he's celebrating 1,500 subscribers.
Nice. Congratulations.
1,500 subscribers. High five.
Great.
There you go.
You know,
Digital 5.
He's crossing that point when, like, your audience just starts exploding. So that's great. That's awesome. Congratulations, Shane.
Excellent. But I need you to talk about something interesting because I've got beer to pour.
Everything I talk about is interesting. So I actually have some.
I'm going to go over some algorithms with you here momentarily. That is such a bad. I mean, we bang on that show so hard, but that was actually a really good show. We actually do need to revisit that.
We need to revisit the algorithm show where we can make it a little more entertaining. We're going to get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
However, I do actually have some interesting stuff to talk about. So, you know, in the past we've talked a lot about Instagram and how to properly execute on Instagram. Well, unfortunately, any kind of social channel where you're posting a lot of content on a regular basis, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they keep changing the rules. And it's so hard to stay up on these things. So Instagram actually just gave out new recommendations for how to use hashtags, which completely contradicts how they have been telling us how to use them all the way up until like Wednesday. And now it's a completely different thing. So so let's run through those real quick.
So it used to be you could cook the hash browns on the flat top.
Yeah, no,
then they made these formed hash browns that you could put them in your toaster. Now, I don't recommend them. They don't get crispy as if you throw them up on your
They always end up getting burned around the edges, and it's still gooey in the middle. I like the gooey part, but the burned part, it's tasty, but it's impossible to get out of the whatever your cooking utensil happens to be. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. So I bought, to solve this problem, I bought the new Blackstone 36-inch flat top grill that has an air fryer built into it. I'm telling you, it'll change your world when it comes to making hash browns.
I thought you
were good stuff.
Want me to talk about something interesting?
Yeah, but then I started talking about it. Then I started thinking about potatoes and hash browns, and I'm thinking, breakfast. Man, I could go for an omelet. This is called train of thought, ladies and gentlemen. All right, go ahead. Teach us all about the new way to use hash browns.
All right, spoken like a true middle-aged man. All righty. So they actually posted on their creators account on Instagram how to properly use hashtags, and this actually took a lot of people off guard because this completely contradicts what everybody had been doing up until like Wednesday. So let's run through these real quick. So basically some hashtag do's and some don'ts. And a lot of these are self-explanatory. They still hold up. But some of the things like you're like, I don't know. So first one, do use hashtags that are relevant and relevant to the theme of your content. Of course. You don't want to post content on beer and have hashtag kitty cats. It just doesn't make sense. It's not right audience.
Say this is a business podcast, hashtag beer.
Exactly. Well, we do talk a lot about beer, but you're right.
We do talk a lot about beer, though.
But you're right. Do check which hashtags your fans are already using and follow. So that's also very important. You want to use hashtags that are relevant to what your fans are looking for. Otherwise, again, you're hitting a completely wrong audience. Do mix well-known hashtags and niche hashtags to broaden your discoverability. So
and yes, that is how you pronounce that word, by the way. Niche.
Niche? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I,
niche.
I break his poor guy. Break his concentration. He's like, and where was I?
and yeah. What kitty cats? I don't know. So
So basically, you were saying that,
right.
mix it up. So you're
Well, so
trying
you
to
want
get something that's well known on the hash browns, and then you're trying to bring hash browns that are new to you. So you're getting this market, and now you're shrinking it down even further.
well, so here's an example, right? So we talk a lot about digital marketing. However, if you
Yes.
look up digital marketing, you're going to see. Hang on, let's just do it right here. So
Well, I'm gonna take that time while you're not talking to just, if you guys have seen the confused look on my face,
marketing.
look at this. Look at this.
You got to hold it a little further
Okay, there we go.
to your screen there.
Yeah, well, I was trying to. That is the weirdest color. October. That looks like a Hefeweizen. It looks like a Weizen.
Like you're right. It's unfiltered, whatever it is.
Yeah, this is the Myers Creek Brewing Oktoberfest. So does it look like it?
It looks pretty tasty.
It doesn't have the smell either, but I want to taste it and I'll let you know what it is. But tell us about our hash browns here.
All right, so we talk a lot about digital marketing here. However, if I used only things that are like very commonly used hashtags like digital marketing, it has 19.5 million people currently posting to this hashtag. Your voice,
hashtag digital marketing.
Right. So your voice, if you use this hashtag, is going to be lost in the minutia, right? You want
in the din.
Well, you can be a whisper in the wind is what's going to happen. So what you want is lesser known hashtags. So let's say
in the meantime, this is not
digital marketing here, and you can find some lesser known ones. So let's say digital marketing expert down here at the bottom has 545,000 versus 19 million. So we could say digital marketing tips.
Okay.
Now 1.3 million. However, right below that is digital marketing tips and tricks, 44.9 thousand. So when people niche down and actually start getting a lot more specific with their hashtags, you're going to reach a lot more relevant audience, and you're actually going to be seen a lot more readily. So let's get back to the hash browns do's and don'ts. The next one is
back to the live action.
Do use specific hashtags so your fans can easily search your content. This kind of goes back to what we were just talking about. You want to be very specific and niche down as much as possible. And finally, do keep this is the kicker that caught a lot of people off guard. Do keep the number of hashtags between 3 and 5. That's a mind blower for a lot of people because you're allowed.
That's an algorithm change.
That's an algorithm change because you're allowed 30. And historically, if you talk to big agencies, who specifically cater to Instagram, they're going to say use all 30 every time. Even if you have to scrimp and save and make stuff up, you want to use all 30 because that's going to broaden your reach just a little bit more. However, we do know that the algorithms on these social channels is finicky, and they change it up and they add smart elements to the algorithm. So it's likely
automation to it as well. Yeah,
it's likely they change something to where the best results are going to come from fewer but more relevant hashtags. So definitely keep that in mind. That's a big deal.
So this pictures to me is something that you and I are going to love. They are. You think about the hash brown here, the hash brown there, the hash brown here. So we got 3 to 5 hash browns out there, and where they overlap is what's the word we're looking for? A Venn diagram.
Love it. We got to use more Venn diagrams.
You know what? We should just every episode, we should have a graphic of something about a Venn diagram. It doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
Literally, we need more Venn diagrams.
The world needs.
That's what this world is needing.
The entire world can be broken out into Venn diagrams.
Yes. Hashtag more Venn diagrams.
So now, quickly going through the hashtag don'ts. So don't use hashtags that have nothing to do with your content. That was actually covered in one of the first ones. Again, if we're covering, what are you doing here? If we are talking about digital marketing, we don't want to have hashtag, refrigerator repair. Well, it doesn't make any sense. You're not going to be reaching the right people unless you're talking to digital repair people about how to market their business, right? Be specific. But don't put random things in there just to
even though that sounds like it's not specific, it's actually is very specific if that's the audience you're trying to if you're trying to pull that in there, there's probably better hash browns to get those people in.
Right.
Well, it could be. I mean, I'm not saying it's useless, but what you're saying is literally just you need to plan it out like a roadmap or something.
Exactly.
Of how this is going to work and who you're trying to get to.
So the next one is also kind of repeating a little bit. Don't use overly generic hashtags. These make it harder for people to discover your content due to the volume of other people using the hashtags. Just like we talked about.
What you just said.
Marketing.
Your voice. You just said you went from 19.5 million niche down to what was it, 49,000 or something along those lines.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And this is also repeating what they said, just in a little different way. Don't use too many hashtags. Adding 10 to 20 hashtags will not help you get additional distribution, which is completely contradicting what had been previous common knowledge. So this is something that I think we should all experiment with. You should experiment with this. I should. Everybody out there should. Post some with a lot of hashtags and post some with very few hashtags. Now, make sure you're following these rules for in both cases, but see which gets the better reach, because I don't know how more hashtags could hurt your reach, but this is saying it doesn't help them.
If they've changed their algorithm, if they've made a change in the algorithm and changed, especially referencing the hash browns and how they're going to assign that reach and how it's going to go,
right?
That's why they're saying it. Is now they don't want to be trying to calculate 30 bits of data versus 3 to 5 bits of data.
Right. Exactly. And finally, they have a graphic here that says things to keep in mind. The content itself and the way people interact with it can affect distribution more than the hashtag. Think of hashtags as a tool that provide context about your post and supports delivering content to people who are interested in a particular topic. Now, what this tells us is hashtags are actually less important to the algorithm than people who interact with your content. So what you want to do is you want to create content that people will
interact with.
They'll interact with it. They'll like it. Yes. They'll save it, and they'll follow it because of it.
And hopefully they'll comment.
So here's actually one thing that not a lot of people know about. On Instagram, you have these couple little icons down here below. You have the heart, you have the comment, you have the send, and all the way on the right side, you have the little little bookmark thingy. That's where you can save. Yeah. So all of these things count as an interaction on your content in the Instagram algorithm. However, the most important one that Instagram weights the heaviest is the save. Don't ask me why. They have the reasons, but if you can create content that somebody's going to want to save for later, maybe that's why, because they know people will interact with that same piece of content more than once. The second most important thing that they have, as far as weighting your content in the algorithm, is the send. Because you're not only interacting with content yourself, you're sharing it with somebody.
Not only are you consuming the content, you are sharing it out to be consumed by another. So
yes. After that, the next most important piece is the comment, followed by the like. So likes are actually much less important than sending or saving. So keep that in mind when you're creating content. And there's one more thing I want to show you guys in here real quick.
Also keep that in mind when you have a piece of content that has a high interaction and save rate, but your likes may be down a little bit. If somebody's just bouncing through your Instagram and we've just got West out there posting in a bikini and all they're going through is liking the pictures of West, that's not as good as somebody saving a piece of content that we've created that has a lot of Venn diagrams on it. So the Venn diagrams may not have the shock and the awe and the attraction to get the likes, but if they're saving these and sharing them amongst themselves, it weights a lot better. And that means that naturally, which is the whole purpose of the algorithm, is to push that content out to other people that are in those same hash browns. We have visitors.
We have a live studio audience.
What do you think? It looks like an October
beer this time.
What do you got? What's he drinking?
Do you need an opener?
I don't know. It's Great Lakes. Do you need
you need an opener. What are you drinking?
Is it Great Lakes Oktoberfest?
Oktoberfest. That's a good one.
Nice.
Yeah, I was going
now.
get one. Then I got.
I'll give you a fair warning. I hurt myself quite badly with Great Lakes Oktoberfest a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Well, I did the Oktoberfest, but then my beer store,
All right.
which I'm so terribly sorry I haven't mentioned them at all today, because I came down there today to see Barley. Barley is a dog that guards the beer at the branching out bottle shop, and that's where I get all my good beer.
Yep.
But they had the Great Lakes Oktoberfest, and they had the Great Lakes Elliott Ness.
Elliott Ness,
Now, Elliott Ness is a good amber beer, and I did both of them in one night, along with several others, and yeah,
Elliott Ness is a good beer.
well, you know what? I'm gonna leave that right there.
But so while we're still
That all I had to do was make it upstairs. So we're still talking about hash browns. Back, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you in part by Oneida Hash Browns.
while we're still talking about the hashtag,
Hash browns?
there's you got Matt hungry now. You got talking about potatoes. One thing you should notice. Look at this. When we're flipping through, you see the little timer, the little countdown timer up there in the post's upper right corner. Each one's about a minute.
No idea.
Even are you looking on Facebook? So everybody else can see it. Even though
Okay. I'm sorry. It's yes. Yeah, I got
in the
it.
upper right corner, and it disappears after a couple seconds. So
Okay.
even though these are still images, this can tell us something really interesting about the Instagram algorithm. So we do know that they prefer when you use their most their newest features. So reels and videos.
Which we've talked about in the past as well.
Yep, reels, videos, that sort of thing. Each one of these still images is technically a very short video. And we can derive from this that they have probably added more weight to video content than still images. So whenever possible, post videos on Instagram, post reels, post to your story, post as many videos as you can, because they will weight that more and you will get better distribution to everybody. So keep that in mind. And that is all I have for the hash browns, but very, very important information. And a lot of this is actually brand new information.
Excellent. It's coming down the pipe. Breaking it to you live. This is Walter Cronkite, and that is the news.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Shannon Black made a nice comical thing here when we're talking about Venn diagrams. He says, the Venn diagram sounds like something that should be in the Fast and the Furious.
You know what? If there were a Venn diagram of just Vin Diesel's head overlapping Vin Diesel's head and overlapping Vin Diesel's head, what are you trying to do here?
Just turn your iPhone on so I can link up to your Wi-Fi.
All right. You're not going to hack my stuff, are you?
I wouldn't know how, but if I could, I would.
This is riveting conversation. So anyway, we have touched base on the difference
I can use
between.
That's all.
Are we good? Are we good over there?
I think we're good.
Sorry.
It's technical.
We're good.
We're good. We're good.
Show up on time, studio audience. There's a countdown timer for a reason.
I was playing with my daughter.
Let's see here. She'll be there tomorrow. Where was we? Oh, the difference between marketing and sales.
Yes.
We've talked about it a ton. And this past week, while I was traveling, I got an email. And this email just, it stopped me in my tracks. I'm laughing at it. I'm cursing at it. And I'm appalled and shocked and very thankful that they sent it to me, because I get to use it tonight.
Oh, boy.
In the podcast.
Okay.
So we've talked a lot about the difference between marketing and sales. I primarily live in sales. Of those two, I try to do a lot more management stuff than even the sales part. But the sales portion, or the marketing portion of my job, leans more towards the sales end of it, closing the sale, bringing it home, and basically facilitating what someone is shopping for. I like doing that for a place that has an excellent marketing part of the equation.
Yeah.
Because you can make sales without marketing. You can do it.
You can.
You are going to waste plus 80% of your time.
Yes, you will.
You're going to waste plus 80%. Most likely more than that. But I'm confident that if we ran the numbers, it's at least 80%. So, and that is just absolutely arbitrary number, made it up on the fly. but I'm absolutely confident that you're losing at least 80% of your
Yeah.
the value of your time is just shot.
There's no
So exactly. Now you can make some sales with no sales team with just good marketing. Mostly in e-commerce and things of that nature. Good marketing, drive them to them. But it's still sales. You still have a sales portion of it. So even though you might have a salesman out there closing it, there's still, you have written the salesman, and the salesman is operating on the page. To anywhere from Amazon, where you have your checkouts and all the stuff that's on that. That's the closing. That's the sale. So when you have a small business, we touched a little bit about this last week about, some companies marketing companies that promise you sales, throw rocks at those people. They need to go away. And other groups, and one of them we've talked about is the emails. Mm-hmm. So I get emails quite often telling me, hey, if you sign up and pay me all these tons and tons of dollars, I'll send you the email list of everybody who attended that event. Yeah. At least 5,000 emails.
No.
Okay, so there might be 150 emails on there that are useful to me. The other remaining X amount of number, whatever they said, they've probably made up or just pulled off of. They've bought a list over here for a little bit of money and a little bit of money on this list. And so they've composed this list of emails that sound legit, or there are emails, they could have been legit emails, but they don't actually fit my need. We're going to go over what happens. Hold on one second. We're going to go over what happens when you fall for that. But go ahead, Wes.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, I've got one even better than only a small fraction of those emails even being good. Let's say, hypothetically, somebody does sell you all of the emails of somebody of people who attended a certain convention, right? So there are people in the relevant industry. There are people who are actively probably looking for whatever service you have. However, they didn't sign up for your emails. So one, you sending emails to those people is breaking CAN-SPAM laws. It's breaking CAN-SPAM laws. It's technically against the law, of which when you break CAN-SPAM law, each email you send can incur a fine of over it's like $47,000 each email.
Each email. So let's say you bought 10 emails, and you send them. So I'm doing it on a small scale. Now you can take this from 10 emails to 1,000 emails to 1,000,000 emails. Mm-hmm. Just keep adding zeros.
Now
at 47,000, you bought 10 of them. So quick math there tells me, ouch.
Now beyond that, let's say you send this campaign and nobody dings you for CAN-SPAM, so you're in the clear. However, those people still didn't sign up for your emails. Let's say 90% of them consider you spam. Now guess what? None of those 90% of people are ever going to do business with you again because they see you as a spammer. They see you as somebody who invaded their personal, private space, their inbox, that they guard carefully. Think about your inbox. You think the same way, I promise you. And
absolutely,
they will never do business with your company again, even if they would have, even if they need your service. They will not come to you. You just lost their business.
It is almost as bad. It is almost as bad as having bad customer service. Yes. And we should go back to the episode where just before the podcast, you were like, "Hey, Dave, I'm gonna ask this question again. So don't talk now, but I'm gonna ask you again on the podcast about customer service."
Yep.
Customer. I gotta tell you, marketing, sales, good products, craftsmanship, all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. You can take all of those dollars and flush them down the toilet if you don't have good customer service. Now, before we get moving back in, and we're going to show this here in just a moment, I would like to bring up the fact that this beer was not bad, but I can assure you that it was not a Oktoberfest beer.
It's not a Marzen. What style do you think? What
it was not a Marzen beer at all. It leaned close to a wheat beer. It was not a Weizen beer. Huh. So it was more of an unfiltered wheat beer. It had a very sweet bite at the end of it. So there were a lot of sugars in that beer. So
that's not like,
I don't think I'll be getting it again.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be getting it again. Because, that's, if they don't know that that's not the beer, then it's probably not what I want. So On to Von Trapp Oktoberfest, which they call it a lager here, not a Meritzen, but a Meritzen's a type of lager. So this is out of a little Austria and a lot of Vermont. A lot of Vermont. So we're going to see what that's like here. But anyway,
the Von Trapps.
Let's get this screen shared up here. I'm going to share this screen here. I got to go to the Skype. Where's the Skype? There's the Skype. Share a screen. I want to share. We're just going to share this document.
All right.
Just that document.
Give it to us.
You should be seeing it.
I got it. There we go.
And you got it?
I got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to crack a nice cold one for this one. Okay, so we've got this beer, and it goes in here. Dave, I hope you're well. Okay, probably a canned message. Nice of them to put my name on there, not just Mr. blah, 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 blah. But I'm Rob, Senior Account Representative with XX. Now, I'm actually going to show you the name of the company and the block on the bottom here that this came from. And I copied it out of here because I wanted it to be a bit of a surprise. So as you can see, they're talking now this came to my business email.
Okay.
Anybody who has been around me for more than 3 seconds knows I live in the world of life safety. Fire alarms, mass notification, yada, 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 so on and so forth. While I do have friends, and we have a viewer who does wrap cars and tint cars, it is not me. So what has happened is this guy has bought an email list.
Yep.
And is guilty, woefully guilty of can spamming me in this scenario here. And they're talking about blah, blah window films. I believe you will find interesting and exciting. Now,
it sounds very exciting so far.
I don't give a Tufts muffin about window film.
Is that a thing?
A Tufts muffin.
What's a Tufts muffin?
I just made it up. It's going to be a thing. It's cool. Trust me. I don't give a Tufts muffin about window film. I just don't. I've watched a couple, I watched some just off the wall YouTube stuff. So, but I've watched them put this stuff on here, and I've watched them test out cheap window film to good window film. One time in the last 15 years on YouTube. Okay. So we're not talking this is live and relevant data. So they didn't track me down that way, if anybody's thinking that. So it says, as you work to develop performance contracting scopes with your prospects, my sales prospects.
Right.
In the window film, in the life safety industry, down here, it may sound funny, but yes, window film can help you close more deals. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to sell you this here smoke detector, and as a sweet addition, I'm going to give you some window tint.
Right, exactly. You see my sweet work van with the tinted windows? Awesome.
Yes. It's all white, blacked out van. You know what? It's the neighborhood watch calls the cops on me every time I drive by.
It looks a little rapey, but you know what?
Yeah, a little bit of window tint. Yeah, you know, everybody's like, "Hey, kids, get inside." You know, it's just. I mean, I wasn't going to use the R word. You went there, but you know, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that works in the algorithm.
Oh, algorithm.
So, you know, we're talking about solar control, but all these things in here. I'd love to set up a time to discuss your needs and how blah 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 can best fit those needs. Well, the best fit is you not waste your time emailing me, and I'm sure it's not going to waste my time replying back to you. I did waste about 8 seconds in total because I sent it to West, and I sent it over to myself so that I could edit it out, copy it, and get it in here to use.
When you sent me, there was no context around why you were sending
no
it.
Context.
I'm reading this email like, why is he sending this to me? What's happening here?
Yes, you're like, what is Dave Cans to me? What the heck, man?
At first I thought somebody had hacked your account and they're just sending out their crap to me. I'm like, what's going on?
What's going on with this? So no, what it was I was busy. I was busy, you know, actually doing what I do, and I didn't have time to, you know, put context in it. It was just like boop, forward, done, and moving on with life. I'm still, you know, in the flow of what I'm supposed to be doing, you know, the stuff I do that pays the bills and whatnot. So I'd love to set up a time to discuss your needs. Okay, he's trying to sell this as he's concerned about my needs. Now, this guy doesn't care a ditty about my needs.
No.
Not at all. Because guess what? If he actually did any kind of research, even just looked at the freaking email address that he sent it to, it might throw a red flag and said, "Ooh, wait a minute, this might not be." Go back to the guy. I'm betting the guy who had this list was wearing a trench coat, and a hat and some sunglasses. They met a parking garage at 2:00 in the morning. You got the list? I got the list.
Somehow you ended up on somebody's list, though. Somehow
this is how I see this going down. All right, so you all are thinking it could be somebody like Fidelity Mobile Solutions, I think is the name. That's our buddy Matt who wraps cars. You know what? It's not him.
No, it's not even him.
Clearly, this is Rob. So somebody like that, some small company could make this mistake, buy it, try to hope for the best. But wait, there's more. This is actually not a small company. This is not a small company. I'm going to give you a couple metrics here. This company did 32.184 billion with a B in revenue in 2020.
Billion.
32.184 billion.
So are you going to tell us the name of this giant company?
So this is, we are not talking a small business. We are not talking.
This is not Joe's window tinting corporation down the street.
Exactly. We are not there. So let's go back. Hold on one second. Don't share the screen quite yet. Don't go back over there yet.
All right.
I want to make sure. I want to get this guy's. Boy, am I glad I looked again because I want to get his contact information off of here.
Yeah, they wouldn't like that. They probably have better recruiters than us.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna say so as well. But we're gonna get rid of that, and we're good. Okay, so send me back over to the. Send us back over to the screenshot. So here we go. Let me know when you got it because we got a delay.
You're on. You're good.
All right, you're on. So you guys can see it here. So this is the email, and only thing I've done where you guys see the X's is blank out 2 letters. Well, 2 characters.
Right.
A number and a letter.
You can probably get
that's it. That's the only edit that's been made to this. Okay.
There's your hint.
$32 billion a year. Here we are.
Oh no!
3
You're showing it. You're showing his personal information.
No. Rob, it says his stuff here. I've already deleted all of his stuff. It just has everything, and it shows the states he's covering.
I didn't know you.
This is Rob. I've deleted.
I didn't know you were going to show his information. I thought we were going to have people guess in the comments below who it could be.
Oh, that would have been the 3M would have been a tough one for him. But no, this is the guy. So his guy's name's Rob. He's a senior account representative. Blah, 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 blah. You'll see some stuff here. He covers Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi, and what is AR? Arkansas. So,
yeah, right.
So we're talking not even close to my area. So geographically, he is not a fit. So geographically, his marketing solutions have completely failed him.
Yeah.
And not to mention his content that he sent to me was so irrelevant to what I do that it was literally laughable. And to show you guys, it is not just, we can go back to just both of us on the screen now.
We're good.
To show you guys, it's not just the big bit or the small businesses. It's not just the small to mid-sized businesses that can make this kind of misstep. It is not just us little guys who can fail on marketing strategy and creating a proper funnel.
Well, you and I were talking about this, and I feel like, in larger companies, the bigger they get, the more of these missteps they have. They have the budget and the bottom line to where they can cast a huge giant net. And if they let a lot of little fish go, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to them because their bottom line is so big. There's so much waste involved. They don't need to be super precise. Now, if their executives knew how much they're losing by such sloppy work, boy, I'll bet things would change real quick. But in the meantime,
I can tell you that big businesses, because I work for one, that big businesses, we have, metrics we have to get. And sometimes there are just boxes that have to be checked.
Yep.
So this guy might have me in his contact list, and he's putting me in his, what's the big contact management software out there? The big guy. Salesforce. He's putting me in his Salesforce as a check, and he's checked the box on it and said, hey, I did an email conversation with this guy.
Yep, you're a lead. You're a lead in his sales.
I'm a lead.
Cloud.
I'm a lead in his Salesforce thing, and then every so often he can come back to me. Oh yeah, I'll talk to this guy again.
That's it.
And send me.
And he checks a box, and it looks good on his spreadsheet. That
means when it goes up, if all the boxes are checked, the person right here that's above him sees that all the boxes are checked, and then the guy that's above him just sees that the guy below just said, well, all this guy's boxes are checked. It's all cool.
It's almost as if somebody should make create an agency that caters to these companies to show them where all their blind spots are and how to optimize their sales.
Well, you know what?
That sounds like something that should exist.
Hold on a second. I want to wait. I got to change how I'm doing the screen share on this one now.
Optimizing sales funnels. I've never heard of such a thing.
What kind of craziness is that? Well, here I got to do a screen share here. There we go. All right, so I've got a screen. Oh, there we go. There we go. I got a screen share going. Get it on our screen, and you should.
I know this company.
This company's called Market Tree. You can email them real quick up here at info@markettree.com, or you can just ask Wes the question right now. So we go through this, and I found this not because of Wes. I found this because I was looking up specific data, doing research for the show, and Market Tree came up. So,
but I didn't know that. You didn't tell me that. That's awesome.
Yeah. So as I'm filtering down through things and I am quote unquote niching down, the more I did it, the better the content providers got. And when I seen that Market Tree was on there, I'm like, all right, well, we have to highlight this as a way to show where you can. And there's some tools here. There was one, a return on investment calculator.
I built this. Yeah, I programmed this. This is a good calculator.
Free on here. 14 pages. 14 pages for free, and it actually shows you a pretty good. And I went through a lot of them. So I'm like, I said, you know what? What if I did it at $20 million?
Yeah.
I started at $20 million to show you that it's not just this. Trust me, the small to mid-sized guys, it's going to be a lot more impactful. But this is good for the big guys too.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't. It's so scalable that it can work on multiple different tiers, multiple different levels. Now, of course, cost and everything comes into play, into effect when you start really $20 million a year account is, that's, we're really starting to invest some money into it. So it just goes to show you don't have to be huge to get it right.
Right.
And it likewise shows just because you are huge doesn't mean you can't get it wrong.
Right. So, and that's what something a lot of people forget is, so my last big, I would call it day job or a client, whatever you'd call it, was a gigantic retail organization. Huge, doing massive numbers, right? And they were when I first started with them, they were to the point to where they had forgotten a lot of the grassroots efforts of digital marketing and social media, strategy, execution, these different things you can do as a smaller guy. They were into spending, I would say wasting tons of money, just making it rain for their agencies who were doing doing a poor job. Exactly. And
so how did you feel about the floors in the store when you walked through? I felt good. I felt like it.
There's a story there.
I called to my soul, and those signs. I kind of noticed those signs.
Oh my gosh! So I got to tell this story, but
this is a great story. All right, I'm gonna.
So before I get to that story,
I'm muting my mic. Because you have to tell this.
No, before I get to that story, I'm going to finish my point though. So
okay, yeah.
So the big guys always forget the small guy strategies and execution models they should be employing. They should continue these things on. The grassroots efforts, the smaller, just looking at hashtags, doing some legwork, using some elbow grease on these different channels, getting things done. But at the same time, there are a lot of really big player strategies and executions that small companies can execute on that they just don't even know about. Right, and that's one of the things where Market Tree. I know it's plugging. I'm not trying to plug, But my agency, that's one of the things that we do, is we take these really macro strategies and adapt them to micro executions, and vice versa, because they both work equally well, and they need to. And we have more
we have the visitors. Sweet, I've been waiting all night to say hi.
Oh, you guys can move over here. We can't see over there. Ah, there she is.
There she is.
Here they are.
Oh, she's got a flower in her hair.
Green.
Yes.
Oh, she's blue.
And the dinosaur on her shirt has a flower in his hair too.
I love that dino in your shirt. Isn't it pretty?
Yeah.
What kind of dinosaur is that?
It's a none of your business-asaurus.
Hey, how are you guys doing in school right now? Are you doing good?
I'm doing good.
What did you do in school today?
Well, today we filled up our jar, and tomorrow is pajama day.
Pajama day?
At school.
I love pajama day.
All right, so what both of you kids need to do right now is have your mommy show you the videos of bananas in pajamas.
A video of bananas in pajamas. Remember this.
Bananas in pajamas. You guys will love it.
Okay.
Charlie the unicorn.
They will look for this.
I love
They're making faces at the camera now. Okay. Oh, there it is. That's the screenshot. Mwah. Okay, guys.
The good news is we can replay this forever because it's live on Facebook and YouTube.
Exactly. Hey, what happens when the internet stays on the internet? Hey, say goodnight, guys.
Good night.
Good night. Blah, 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 blah.
Good night, kiddo.
You
Have a good night. I have
Hey,
a
Mr.
big
Herman,
face.
you have a gigantic face. It's true.
Yes, I do.
You're basically Mr. Kool-Aid.
That's like,
For us Doctor Who fans, we're gonna call him the face of Bo.
Scotch.
Actually, it's not. He's not far off from the face of Bo.
I have a
It's
face
a
of
giant
Bo.
potato sitting on some shoulders.
Yep.
No, my wife's gonna have that.
We might need one of the viewers to remind us exactly where we were in our conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
come on. Some kind of macro marketing.
Oh yes. So anyway, the macro,
bringing
the micro.
the big business thoughts and processes down to some small guys and reminding. So I wanted to tag along with that and say that this applies for for people like me for football as well.
Yeah.
One of the first things you learn when you start teaching football or learning football is a 3-point stance, and you never stop. No matter how long or what level you get to, you're always working on your 3-point stance and coming out of it and bringing the power with it. So
He's coaching?
He does now.
Oh, for God's
He's
sake.
coaching business.
No, I mean for football. Is he coaching Noah?
Are you coaching Noah?
I coach everybody at all times.
How
I am a
Noah's
professional in everything I do and am an expert. So the other day we were at a place and there was an apple tree, and I was doing some mentoring for one of my compatriots from work, and I was like, you know what? And she's like, man, you're so comfortable talking in front of these people. I don't know if we'll ever get there. And I said, well, you just got to learn how to do it. I said, take this tree perhaps. For instance, this tree right here, the way it's cut, it's lumped over, cut over. The way they're doing that is to increase the yield of the apple, so we don't have to have a truck to pull in here. You can plant the plants closer. Plus, it also gives less time for the water to get from the roots up to the leaves, out to its furthest extremities, so that the fruit can grow faster and be a little more productive. Now, I don't know if any of that is true. I don't know if any of it sounds good. If you can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with bullshit and let it go.
There.
So you're telling us about macro down to the small guys. Let's keep it on going.
Yes. So to the story we were talking about a minute ago with the floors in the store.
Oh, gotta mute my mic.
Oh my gosh. So all right. So I'm not going to name the company that I was with when this happened. A massive retailer, who the executive team thought it'd be a great idea to bring in. So they're really trying to hit hard at a younger audience. They're trying to go for Gen Z, the Gen Z people. Not even millennials, the Gen Zs. They think that's where the money is. And it makes a lot of sense to kind of think this way because, look, you want to hit them young, and that way you have your lifetime value, the LTV, is going to stay longer, right? Exactly.
LTV.
So on top of that, if you can get the young people, guess what? If you get the young people, you're immediately getting their parents, you're immediately getting their grandparents, because they want to do what their kids are doing.
Right.
That's the reason on social channels, the kids adopt it first, and then the parents, and the grandparents, and that's why on Facebook, thank you, Mark Zuckerberg. The young people aren't there anymore because nobody wants to be on the same social channel as their grandparents.
No kidding.
But that's what happens. So this giant retailer I was with thought it'd be a great idea to hire a couple of Gen Zers who this is their professional job.
Focus group.
This is their professional job. This is their job now, is to talk to giant companies. They would talk to us. They mentioned they gave a big speech to the NFL executives. They gave big speeches to so and so, and they were with our company for about a week. Monday through Friday, they were with us, and they had private meetings with the CEO and the entire executive team multiple times. They gave speeches and fireside chats. Love those to the different teams and the meetings that I was involved in. We asked, what they thought when they went to visit the stores, because they're also taking on private tours of the stores. They closed the stores down for these people to come in and walk around, get their thoughts. And one of the questions was, by the way, their insights were spectacular. These people, Gen Zers, at the time they were like 18 was one of them. I think another one was 17. Another one was 20.
Just as a quick side note, I'm sorry, I had to come off mute for this. Just as a quick side note, West has told me this story exactly one time.
And you remember it that much?
One time, and I remember so much of it because it is. I'm muting my mic again.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
All of you guys are about to find out.
So these people, their insights are amazing. I mean, we paid. So there were 3 young people, and we paid them in total, I think about $300,000 for the week. About $300,000 for a week. These 3 people. And we flew them in on the private jet, and they were around and giving all these
private jet.
On the private jet,
oh,
they get a lot of private jet because they're meeting with the NFL, they're meeting with this company, that company, our company, and again, $300,000 for a week is pretty good pay. Each one you got to assume is making $100,000, and their insights were on point. One of the questions was, "So, what did you think of the store when you go see it?" And the guy, there were two young ladies and a guy. And the guy was like, well, walking in, my first thought was, the floors are effing ugly. And we're like, oh, all right. What'd you think of the signage? I don't know, like it was orange and the floors were like brown. And I'm just thinking, like, it's gross and like I don't want to be there. It was pretty gross. So I started like just going on Instagram and stuff to like, because I didn't want to be there. This was like the extent of their knowledge, and this is the knowledge base that we're trying to draw upon. And nothing against Gen Z. There is amazing insight. There is amazing, incredible upcoming talent there. But guess what? These people were looked upon as if there was the second coming of Jesus from our executive team, because they have large Instagram followings, they have great Twitter followings, they have great YouTube followings. Maybe not the best place to gain market strategy from, because they didn't understand what marketing strategy was. It reminds me of when you go on LinkedIn. Here's a great thing on LinkedIn. When you go on LinkedIn, you will be bombarded of content by 20-year-olds who are life coaches. Life coaches who are there to tell full-grown people who've been doing this twice as long as this person's been alive how to live their life, how to lead their business, how to start a business, when they haven't even they barely graduated high school. And these are the same people saying, oh, college is a waste of time, college is a waste of money. Maybe, to a certain extent, but...
I'll give them that. In some cases, college is a waste of time, waste of money. Education, on the other hand, is not.
What was positive about their insights?
What was positive about
it was like orange.
They had good insights.
I was being sarcastic.
Oh, all right. So the reality is,
it was like orange.
300,000 brown floor.
And the floors.
Yeah. Well, so
I remember this conversation. I mean, we're talking years ago.
Oh yeah.
When this happened, and we're sitting at probably a bar talking about it till they close and flip the chairs up on us. But we're in here, and I'm listening, going, oh my Lord, it was actually one of those nights when we're like, when we were, now you got me saying like every 3 seconds now. When we were talking and saying we really need to do a podcast, we really need to bring this stuff out there. Between the two of us, we could really present some like totally good knowledge. And maybe it could be orange.
Oh yeah, they didn't like the brand colors because it just, I don't know, it's kind of gross. So like they just didn't get it, and like their moms like it, but like I don't know. Yeah. We spent a lot of money, and look. I like to be a team player. I like to walk into a meeting, and I don't like to be the guy who says no. I like to be the guy who says, you know what? It doesn't matter how hard it is, we can do it. It doesn't matter if the technology doesn't exist. We can find a way to do it. So a lot of the technology that I use, I developed specifically. So going back to the Market Tree website, a lot of the stuff that I employ for the smaller companies that want the macro strategies. A lot of these things the execution models that I employ are sort of backdoor hacks to make these big player strategies work for this small micro player, and it works really well. But unfortunately,
a lot of carbon dioxide in that beer.
That is a lot of head on that beer.
Yeah. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why you pour beer into a glass.
That is going to...
Because guess what? That carbon dioxide is coming out no matter what. It needs to off-gas here and not in your stomach.
Oh, for God, don't say off-gas.
Off-gas. Oh, it's a technical term.
Off-gas. It's a technical term. Off-gas. That's what it needs to do. Is it needs to off-gas.
I have no idea where I was.
Well, I don't understand. Why would they pay these people this much money and not get a written, concise report?
Now I know where I was. Because, thank you, Matt. Now I know exactly where I was. Because I like to be the kind of guy who walks into a room and says, yes, doesn't matter how big of a challenge this is. Yes, we can make this happen. However, there are certain times when you need to walk into a room and you need to say, you're full of it. You're full of something. And that doesn't make any sense. Those words that you just used aren't actually words. They're words in the right order to make things happen. So what happened was, unfortunately, I'm not going to, again, this is why I'm not mentioning the name of the company I was with, because when certain executives reach a certain level within their profession, they lose contact with the common man.
Yes.
The emperor has no clothes, and they forget that. And
one of the things, now I'm going to slightly defend the people to get to that level, being one of the people who did that.
Look, it happens. Nothing is those people, but look, we have to
justify our existence.
Every executive team, I will put this out there for the world to hear. Every executive team needs one person, at least one person, who will be brutally honest and say, without fear of being fired, without fear of retribution, say, you're full of shit. Or, that is a dumb idea.
Dear God, do not do that.
Every team needs that person.
If your ideas are strong enough, then they're strong enough for criticism.
And that's true. And that's exactly right. The problem is the executive team thought it would be great, thought it would be an amazing idea to bring in this team of young professionals. They've spoken to the NFL, they've spoken to this great team over here, they've spoken on Amazon, they've spoken personally with Jeff Bezos, and we need to hear them out. And then after the meetings, you could tell that there were certain people, a lot of people came out of those meetings saying, oh, it's great, that was amazing, I'm so glad we were a part of that. And there were a few people who were biting their lips the entire time, and you can tell who they were because they walked out of the meeting like,
that's the dumbest.
Back to my office, back to my job, and pretend that never happened.
Right. So
to shut the store down was a huge mistake. If you're going to go in and give an impression, you need to give the impression while the store's in operation, around the existing clientele, around the existing customer base. I mean, this story is just riddled with things that that company did wrong. And I know the company you're talking about. They needed to not be going to people who make this much money as a source of ideas.
when you have a 17-year-old who's living on daddy's trust fund, first of all, that's not your target audience.
Right.
Not for this organization. This was not their target audience.
Right.
Second of all,
they're not supreme.
Oh my god! Exactly.
You wanted college kids who are trying to make every dime go as far as possible.
Right. Exactly.
And that's whose opinion mattered.
That's who they wanted. But
So West, we talked briefly before the show.
Yeah.
Because we are clearly not going to get onto any of our actual topics tonight. Back to the roadmap worksheet that we've been working on for 3 weeks as it is already.
One day we will finish this roadmap.
We'll bring it back again next week. But there were some things that I pulled off the interwebs.
Yep.
The difference between sales and marketing.
Ooh, this is a big conversation though. We've talked
These are
past.
These are good. These are good. Here's one. And
right.
I've added there are 2 parts to this line, and I've added a third.
Okay.
See if you can identify which one of these that I added. Sales is push, marketing is pull, and this is bullcrap.
Okay.
There is no push and pull in marketing. You're not pulling people into sales or pushing people into sales and pulling people. It's a terrible analogy. Okay.
Yes.
So a little bit further down the road, okay, we've got the 4 P's of marketing: product, price, promotion, and place. I've got problems with that list, but wait, there's more.
There's problem.
If you go over to another site, there is the 6 P's of marketing,
there's
which
2 more.
adds people, process, and because they're really struggling to get another P, physical evidence.
Physical
Evidence.
That's trying really hard. Are they?
So that means you are contorting something terribly.
The next P is going to be pterodactyls. Pterodactyls.
Yes. So I said, see if you can identify my addition to this. Join us next week when we introduce the 32 P's of marketing. So I have a problem here. Product I agree with, and place I agree with.
Okay.
Those are 2 things. I'm going to move out of, when you get to the 4. I'm going to go with product, place, people.
Okay.
I've got 3. I've got your 3 P's of if you want to use the P's, I've got 3.
Product, place, people.
Price.
What was the original 4th?
Product, price, promotion, and place.
Okay.
Okay. Place is geographic.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sell bikinis to Target in Minnesota in January. I could be selling bikinis to Target in Hawaii in January.
Right.
So place matters. The product matters. Again, not selling snow blowers to the people in Hawaii. I could be selling snow blowers to the people in Minnesota.
Right. Product, place. Got it.
Price and promotion. That is advertising. That is not marketing. It needs to go away.
Yes. Thank you. I agree.
That is advertising, not marketing. That is 10 whole shows by itself.
Right.
Okay. That needs to go off to the sideboard. They need to be pulled out of there. Your marketing people do not need to be looking at pricing, and they are looking at, this is the data, this is the market, let's go, and bring that funnel in and attract those people in.
This needs to be show all on its own. And we need, going back to Venn diagrams, we need 3 Vin Diesel heads over top of each other. One needs to be marketing, advertising, sales. That's
all right. I've got a report on. Okay, I got a report real quick on my 2 beers I drank and haven't.
Right, what do you got?
Bon Trap Oktoberfest.
Yes. Do you hear the sound of me?
Oktoberfest, but actually worth a drink. You should actually give that one a try.
Okay.
Erdinger Weiss beer.
Yeah.
It's a good unfiltered wheat beer. It does not bring the banana flavor, the citrus flavors that it should for a Weiss Hefeweizen, but it does also doesn't have the clove finish. But so if you stripped out that idea, and just drink it. Now, again, remember, it's got bukus of freaking carbon dioxide in it, so definitely drink it out of a glass. So,
Jason from Huff.
advertising, marketing.
Actually, you know, I was thinking about that. So what that extra carbonation tells me is they have artificial carbonation, and that's not carbonation. That's not natural carbonation from the yeast. Which
From the
I'm
yeast
not a fan
beer,
of
so they
artificial
drop the
carbonation.
carb
I like the
tabs.
natural carbonation.
Yeah. So to have that much, I mean, that was a lot of carbonation for that thing. So when we've talked about, we've always touched upon the difference between sales and marketing. It's been a constant theme almost since day one.
Yep.
Actually, we might have actually touched on
It might have been day one.
First episode. So, but you guys haven't really heard us talk a lot about advertising, and this is where I have a problem with these. I mean, part of this comes from Forbes, okay, and it's a decent article written by Nancy Marshall, who owns Marshall Communications. Go figure that out. There are some things in her article that are really good. And, you know, I ended up reading the whole thing a couple times just because there was a lot of decent insights in there. But if you mess up something that's this fundamental, so you're trying to bring something down and simplifying it to the 4 P's or the 6 P's or the 17 P's or whatever, how many P's there are, and you have price and promotion in your first 4, that's a problem. That's a big problem. If you're marketing your product, place, people.
Well, look, I don't want to be this guy, but
things.
too many large corporations have salespeople leading marketing teams, and not marketing teams, but like high level above the marketing teams, because they think marketing drives sales drives marketing.
That's a terrible idea.
That's the problem. But that's the problem, is they think sales drives marketing because marketing can help promote sales. And they're misunderstanding the purpose of proper marketing.
Yes. Yeah, they'll say, you know, this is one of her quotes out of this. This is really the quote that drugged me to it. That says, without the marketer, sales don't get off the ground. But without the sales representative, the ball is dropped.
That's right. Well, it's all about understanding the funnel, right? We need to get back to
Yes. Yeah, the funnel, you cannot, and I don't have my drunken napkins at hand anymore.
You love
that had
you get a friend
had
behind you.
The funnels.
You need to put them on the wall.
I should.
There. Yeah.
I should have put. I might reserve this space over here for Dave's drunken napkins.
Put them in good.
To when I go out and I do stuff. And
what do you do?
Because some of the ideas are just golden.
You scan them and you sell them as an NFT.
Yes. And then I can sell tickets, NFT tickets,
you can see to a live show where they can see NFTs in person.
Yes.
How do you see the NFT in person? You got to buy a ticket to find out.
You got to find a ticket. One lucky winner will earn their own Drunken Dave napkin.
MFTs. What's an MFT?
MFT.
It's a typo. That's what that is.
M&F and Tyrannosaurus Rex.
And pterodactyl, the next P in the sales process.
Yes, and pterodactyls. So that's all for the P psychologist on this side. I've got to say that it was a good show. We didn't get to where we were wanting to go.
Do we ever?
I think we actually got to some really good stuff.
We got good points here. We actually had some good points. We will actually get to the full breakdown of the business roadmap, because road mapping a business is super important. And here's the thing. The Underdog Bones from Underdog Plus, that's one of the things we're actually here to talk about a little bit.
That's what actually one of the things that spurred us.
It is.
Gave us the kick in the pants to get this thing going.
It is. So part of the roadmap is for this particular business is making it a legal business to be able to sell this particular product. So Underdog Bones are bones used with brewer's grains and all natural, all organic ingredients. And I actually just got back today the lab results. So as soon as I get the packaging approved by the Ohio State Department of Agriculture, I can actually start selling these. So in a matter of days, these will be available for distribution all through the state. And as soon as I get New York's New York State's Department of Agriculture to agree, I will have those for sale at what's the name of that shop there?
Branching Out Bottle Shop.
Branching Out Bottle Shop. So we'll be in at least 2 states very, very soon. And
I will be buying some of them as well. I will be buying them because I'm going to give them away to my customers as, bonuses, because I've got over here, you guys can't see it. I'm not going to turn my camera, but because when I move my camera, West has to do all kinds of crazy stuff to recenter me properly in the frame. So over there, I've got little goodie bags and with pens and markers, and I've got a couple of books like, let me put my finger over top of the name, like this right here, little books that come through. And
I love them. I use those all the time. I love those.
Yeah, I love these. So I give these away.
Yeah.
Yep, I give these away. And I've got 30 of them or so sitting over there, and a couple other little doodads, the trinkets that we just give away. I'm going to give away some dog treats.
There you go.
I'm going to put little bags of dog treats on these people's desks, and that way, because some of our people have dogs in their office, and most of them, just like every real red-blooded human in the world, has a dog. So not these nasty cats things out there.
Well, so here's the thing about the dog treats. One of the reasons I actually started the company is 20% of the company 20% of the profits go to local dog rescues. So our dog Theo is a rescue dog. She's amazing, and she was my inspiration for starting the company. And 20%.
And she absolutely wants nothing to do with you.
And she only wants my wife. Won't even look twice at me unless I have a treat in my hand. She only wants my wife. I've never seen a dog look more disappointed to see a person when they walk in a room than that dog looks at me. That's beside
I have
the
seen
point.
it firsthand. I have watched the dog walk in, look at Wes, and just drop its head like.
So here's a funny story.
Why?
Literally, when my wife's not here, so I will. I'll come in the door. So normally, when a dog hears somebody walk in the door, they run over, they jump, they're excited. It doesn't matter who it is. If it's somebody they've never seen before, they're jumping all over them. They're excited. Literally, I walk in the door. My dog runs into the room, stops right around the corner, sees that it's me, looks kind of embarrassed because she's not sure what to do, slowly drops her head down, slowly turns around, and walks back out of the room.
Here.
You've seen this happen, David. You've seen this happen.
I've seen it happen. It's awesome.
I don't know. It's hilarious.
Well, I mean,
it's
not awesome for
thing.
you, but yeah, 20% of the profits from the sales
go
to local. Yeah,
go to local dog rescues. Now the other 80%. Now look, this is not a money-making venture for me. The other 80% of the profits go directly back into the company because, and here's why: because the faster this company grows, the more it grows, the bigger that 20% becomes, and the more good they can do. I still have personal clients. I still have a day job. This is not something to line my pockets. This is not going to pay for my kids' college. No, this is actually dedicated to helping local dog rescues because there are a lot of dogs and pups that need help that aren't getting it otherwise. So look, if you want any information at all on this, go to underdogplus.com and you can sign up. Once I'm able to distribute these legally in the state, which is going to be a matter of days, I will send you. It doesn't matter who you are where you are in the world. I will send you a free sample of these dog treats, and I promise you, if you don't eat them, your dog is going to love them because they smell delicious. They smell like cookies.
I've had one.
Matt, you ate one.
Yeah, they're not bad.
See?
Yeah. Pull up my screen share.
All right.
There we go. We got it on the screen right now.
Hang on.
So what you just did by explaining all this was channel agnostic, right?
There it is. That's the what? Channel agnostic.
Yeah.
Well, so here's actually this is actually we can do a whole show on this. So, but real quick, so David's showing the front page of Underdog Bones.
Underdog Bones talks about it literally. Okay, so we talk about the artisan part of the treat, the artisanal aspect of the treats themselves. You go right into what is in them, and then boom, 20% of all profits will be donated to Central Ohio Dog Rescues. Now, I'm assuming that's probably going to grow at some point.
Yes.
And it will go from Central Ohio to other dog rescues and, be organic in its growth out on how you can help, who you can help.
It will go into a national and hopefully very soon international dog rescue initiatives.
There's Rio right there.
That is my dog, Rio. who wants nothing to do with me. She only wants to stare deeply into my wife's eyes at all times.
Yep. Yep. She gets a little happy to come when I come by and see her. She gets the wiggles, comes out and sees me, and then she's like, "All right, Dave, I like you for about 10 seconds," and then she's like, "All right, you're not Rio's current wife. I'm out."
Exactly, that's it. It's the sorry, it's the funniest thing, I swear. But this is oh, I get the coughs. So these treats are limited ingredients. It's all natural, all organic. The brewer's grains are all locally sourced from local breweries, and these will, I promise you, your dog will not forget these. When you pull out, your dog will remember the packaging alone and will go bonkers for it. They are that good.
Yep. So we got some here, and because I think the package sounds it's very similar, not quite the same, but the same type of material. My dog went nuts just with the package.
Right.
She likes the treats that we have here now, but I think she'll be absolutely stoked when we have the Underdog Bones sitting here. But I like your tagline here. Your best friend has never been treated so well. Love it.
Yeah. So look, I should be marketing or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Imagine. Oh, hey, just in case you guys don't know, what company you think built this?
Built what, the website?
This is Going West Media, or I'm sorry, this is Market Tree.
Market Tree, yeah, Market Tree.
Market Tree.
So we build websites, we build strategies, we can do consulting, all of the above. And the thing is wherever possible, we work with the lowest budgets possible. So one of the things I'm actually going to start covering here soon, we're going to start putting together agendas for this, is the different execution models for different things we're gonna be doing with this dog treat company. So the first thing is, when we actually get to it, the road mapping of the business itself, how to build a business roadmap. The next thing, we're going to talk about how to build a website on a rock bottom budget. That website, rock bottom budget. Anybody
right,
with a paper route, let alone a good job, can build a website that good, if not better. And we'll show you how. An email campaign, an automated email campaign that you never have to touch. We'll show you how to do it for free. This is going to be
legitimate email leads, not can spamming.
Right, exactly. And all automated, where you never have to, you build it, and then you set it and forget it. Because that is the key. Automation and personalization is the key to the best marketing you will ever have in your life. I promise you, and we will show you in upcoming shows, not just how to do it, we'll show you how I am doing it, how David is helping me do it with Underdog Plus and these dog bones. Because we're going to be using the exact same strategies that we show you here.
Yep. I mean, I don't work for a small company. I work for an okay-sized company. These same tactics we try to teach you guys, and we try to do it on a level that's not. I mean, trust me. If one of you all out there say, you know what, I'd love to get into this, I just don't think I got enough data. Call us up. We will absolutely bore you to tears.
Yeah.
With how in-depth and detailed and granular we can go.
We can nerd your ear off, or
yes,
we can tell you in a way that you will understand.
Exactly. So, I had a conversation the other day, and somebody was talking, and they said, "I need to get. Do you have collateral on that?" And I'm lucky because I go into every meeting.
For printed material?
Yes.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yes. So I go into every meeting with my microphone muted on the system, and as you guys may remember, I use a Yeti Blue for my day-to-day operations.
Love that mic.
Around these points, which is a really good mic, yes. And you can change the dynamics of it and how you want it to operate. I'll absolutely love it. But it's got a nice little button right here that's a mute, okay? So I always keep my system double muted because there's things that happen and I'm just like ready to pull my hair out. Oh my Lord, how could you possibly be thinking that? How do you say? So when you use words like vertical market, synergy. Oh my lord, the coup de grace, synergy.
Synergy.
Or synergistics. Or collateral. Now, collateral is a real word and used for things. But when you're talking about collateral as something you can use in reference, and you don't use the word handout.
Right.
The person, let's say you have Dennis Miller sitting next to you. If anybody knows who Dennis Miller is, Dennis Miller has a vocabulary that is ridiculous.
He's a very smart dude, yeah.
Yes, but if he's sitting there using all these words and 4 people out of 4,000 know what he's saying, and I'm sitting next to him and all 4,000 people know what I'm saying, but those 4 people are laughing at me because I didn't use as smarter words as him, who do you think's going to sell more?
You're right. You're totally right.
People. I've got 3,996 people.
No, you're totally right.
I'll take those numbers. Just because you have a deeper vocabulary, just because you can dazzle them with brilliance,
right,
or baffle them with bullshit.
And you know what? You don't need to use all the complicated terms. Here's one thing I hate. I despise when I am in a meeting. First of all, let me actually start with where I love. I love being in a meeting with other people who know way more than me. I love it because I can learn.
Oh, I love it. I found myself in a meeting like that 2 years ago. Loved it.
I love learning from people who know more than me. It's one of the best things ever. If you can teach me more, man, I will listen to you all day long. But here's what I hate. When I'm in a meeting with somebody who knows more, and they know more, and rightly they should feel as if they know more because they do, but you don't use exactly the right or precise term, and they act like they don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, do you mean,
And no, not even that. They'll be like, "What? I don't get it." And you have to explain what you're trying to say to them again. And they're like,
"Oh,
wait,
you
hang on.
mean?
Do you mean this over here?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's
nice
what I mean."
Is when you get to be 52, you just tell those people what to do with themselves, and they appreciate.
That's why you've never been.
How's that working out for you, man?
It's working out great.
Is it working out great?
Yes, it is.
That's why you've never been financially successful.
And I'm good with that.
Yes, indeed. Now, I got to tell everybody right now that the guy sitting on that couch back there is a national treasure. He is a hero.
I've never heard those words
saved one of our service members way back in the day. Saved one of our service members in the Coast Guard from the ravagings of a sea lion puppy.
No, it wasn't a sea lion.
It was a seal.
It was a musk seal.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to throw the puppy thing in there just to mess with
rabies.
you.
It was a cute little baby seal.
It was a rabid shark.
It was a baby seal
around
that
the
he clubbed to
jungles
death
in Venezuela.
It was a baby seal that he clubbed to death.
Oh, I would have snuggled that seal if it would have gotten off my buddy's leg.
Yes, indeed.
The brave men of the Coast Guard. That sounds pretty funny. He has some good stories, this guy. Look.
That was scary.
That was a good
really
story.
good stories. If you guys ever meet him out in public, just ask him about Guatemala.
Don't ever ask this man about Guatemala. Luckily, his current wife doesn't watch our show.
Thank God.
Yes, hashtag ex-wife.
What's happened in Guatemala?
So that's it. We're at, oh my Lord, we are at 8:41 p.m.
We've been going a while.
I think we've been going at this for a while. If you guys are out there, definitely when you watch the video, even on the replay, drop some comments into it. Let us know what you guys want to talk about. I know last week we touched a little bit on some. I keep wanting to think. The word permit. The word permit will not get out of my head, so I keep wanting to say permit, but it's not permit.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Benjamin Franklin filed patents. Gee, many Christmas patents.
Einstein. You could have said Einstein.
I was way off.
You could have said Einstein.
So anyway, patents. We talked a little bit about filing patents last week. And there's some other things that we can keep circling back to. But next week, I'm not researching. Now, the only reason we did this is because that email dropped in my lap, and that's just, I had to use it.
Got to talk about it. Right.
I had to go into it and show everybody that big companies, small companies, you could all make missteps. Big companies, small companies, guess what? you share a lot more in common when it comes to marketing and advertising and sales than what you really think you do.
There are a lot of common missteps. Very
Yeah,
common missteps.
Yeah, and West, who is the creator of the roadmap that we are going to come in, we're going to introduce, and we're going to get moving. Now, here in the near future, I will be doing a podcast because I have to go to Fort Lauderdale in a couple of weeks. Not next week, but maybe the week after.
Oh, I have to go to Fort Lauderdale.
I got to go to Fort Lauderdale and stay on the beach in Fort Lauderdale.
Maybe.
Fort Lauderdale.
But I have made it very clear, Wednesday night, I'll be doing my podcast. It will be a finite. It will be us real quick before 7 to 8 p.m. And then I've got to go because I've got other things I've got to do. But I am blanking out the hour for the podcast. So we'll be seeing you guys from there. And then in a couple of weeks after, about a month after that, in November, I'll be doing the podcast live from somewhere on one of the Disney resorts.
Coming to you live from undisclosed location from a beach in Florida.
Yes, from a beach in Florida. This is the Underdog Journey, and tonight we're talking about your business. So,
actually a pretty good intro.
Note, Wes, let's wrap it up.
In the meantime,
what do you got in closing comments?
Closing comments. If you love your dog, if you love dog treats, if you love rescuing pups in need, go to underdogplus.com and learn more. Sign up for some free dog treats. I promise you I will send you some dog treats as soon as I'm legally allowed. They've been approved from the Ohio Department of Agriculture. I need to have the packaging approved. I will send you a free sample. No matter where you are, where in the world you are, I promise I'll get those to you for free. If you're interested in marketing, just got some questions, anything, shoot me an email. Go to the website. Go to markettree.com. I will answer any marketing.
That's markettree. Markettree.com.
Go to markettree.com. I will answer any marketing questions you might have. And in the meantime, I've been West. Oh, I've
been Dave. And with one more thing to say, because I can never shut up. If your business is running at Hotmail or at gmail.com email address, don't wait. Go to markettree.com.
Yes.
To right now. In fact, don't even listen to us close. Go to markettree.com.
We will set you up with a proper
information
email.
Through a basic website with the most cost-efficient email possible. Because I will tell you this right now, I've done a lot of business for a long time, and when they came in at Hotmail or Gmail or MSN or, for the love of God, AOL.com.
We can do a whole. David, you brought up a sore point for me. If you're doing,
it is a sore point. This next week, as we abandon our plans to show you the roadmap, we're going to talk about
next week, David. Guess we're talking about next week. Look, if you're doing
let's talk about next week.
If you're doing business with an at AOL.com email address or a Hotmail.com email address, you lost a lot of business.
Yeah, you've lost a lot of business that you don't even know. People who were looking for you.
You lost a lot of business. So that's actually, look, let's talk about that next week, because that's a big deal.
He's been Dave.
I've been Dave. He's been West. And this guy back here has been a story about a great seal that attacked a longshoreman.
You guys screw that story up every time.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.